Hopefully we've had a chance to set goals at various times throughout the course with different activities. However, setting goals is just the first part. And as we were saying earlier, a goal is about a journey, is about sort of setting your next destination on that journey. However, things don't always go to plan. So if we set ourselves a goal, it's good to have a review and think, how did that go? Did it go according to plan? Did it work? Didn't it work? What worked well? What didn't work so well? And we might have made adjustments. Sometimes when we go and follow through a goal, like maybe going swimming or walking the dog for longer, we get to do it and we think, actually, this isn't quite as important that I thought. And that's okay, because that's about making readjustments as well and making changes as we go along. Sometimes life gets in the way. We have horrendous weather for a week and you can't get out of the house, or the sister-in-law turns up on the doorstep, the dog gets sick, or all sorts of things happen. Life happens, life gets in the way. But for whatever reason that we don't quite achieve our goal, it's important to reflect around what went on. So the first thing to ask is this still something I want to do? Is this still something I want to achieve and to work on? If the answer is yes, then we need to reflect around what worked, what didn't work, what happened, and really identify the problem. Was it that we just ran out of time? Was it that we found that maybe we were going to go swimming and we pulled the swimming costume out of a drawer for the first time for 10 years and found that it just fell apart in our hands, so we needed a new costume? Or maybe we'd arranged to do it with a friend and the friend didn't turn up. Whatever it is, we've got to identify the main barrier, the main problem, what stopped us doing it. The next stage is really to think through ideas. What am I going to do differently next time? And you might like to write some of these ideas down and think around which one you're going to try, and then turn that into your next goal. Okay, so this time it might be that you recognize you'll find it much easier to go with a friend. So your goal this time isn't to go swimming, but your goal is actually to identify a friend who could potentially come with you. So turn that into your new goal, see how it goes, reassess it. And for some people this can feel a little bit formalistic or a little bit pedantic, but there's a lot of evidence that shows that if we start writing things down and we start actually thinking through how we feel about doing some of these things and what some of the barriers are, we become clearer and we come to a much more honest place around what our thoughts and feelings around maybe making changes around exercise or diet and that sort of thing. And it can help us come to a place where we actually might make a clear, conscious choice that actually I'm not going to make huge changes to my diet. I recognise there's some downsides to it, but I'm willing to put up with that. But at least it's a conscious choice. So this action plan and goal setting process helps us to become much clearer, and also using problem solving as well. We all know, don't we, that if we say, oh, I'll start that next week sometime, next week, there's an awful lot of next weeks aren't there in a year, and we never get around to it. So goal setting, problem solving, following up on our goals is a good self-management skill to begin to work through, particularly when we got sort of complex planning to do and this sort of thing.